Welcome everyone. In this video, you will learn how you can manage your financial transactions via Stripe and Wave integration. Guys, Stripe is a popular payment gateway by which you can receive and send online payments, and Wave is a brilliant accounting software. Guys, if you have a business, you know how important it is to keep the track of all your financial transactions. So in this video, I am going to show you how you can integrate Stripe payment gateway with Wave software so that whenever you receive a payment via Stripe, the transaction details will be saved in Wave accounting software automatically so that you do not have to do it manually and you can focus on other important things related to your business. So this automation is going to save an immense amount of your time and manual efforts. And you can set up this automation without any coding very simply. So let's begin. To set up this automation, we are using Pabbly Connect, which is an integration and automation tool. And this is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. From here, guys, you can sign up for free and you will get free automation tasks every month to test and set up your automations. So you can just sign up right now from the link given in the description, and after that you can sign in and reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. And from here, guys, this is the dashboard. From here you just have to click on this create workflow button. Here you can give a name to your workflows, and after that click on create button and your workflow page will load up. So I have given the name here. Now let me click on create and you can see the workflow page is loading up. Alright, and here you will find these two modules, the trigger and the action. These are the basic building blocks of our automation. So when you connect any application in trigger, a trigger event is going to start the workflow, and the action would be an automated response or the consequence of the trigger. Okay. So guys, here I have created the workflow for this automation. You can see this is the workflow I have created. I have connected Stripe in the trigger with the trigger event as new charge. That means any new payment coming in via Stripe. Okay. After that, in the action step, I have connected Stripe again with retrieve a customer by ID as the action event. Because when you get a payment in Stripe in the trigger, it will receive the payment details, but it will not show you the customer details here in this response section. Okay, I'll show you how you can capture the data. First of all, let us understand the workflow here. Okay, the logic of the workflow. So in the second step, I connected Stripe again and retrieved the data of the customer by using customer ID. Okay, after that, guys, in the third step, I have connected with Wave and I have used get customer by email action event. Okay, so we have used this action event to see if the customer is already present in Wave or not. Okay, the customer who have sent us the payment is already present in Wave application or not. Okay, so if the customer is present, it will give you in the response a customer's node ID. Okay, after that, in the last step, I have used router feature by Pabbly. What router will do, router is going to create conditional paths, okay, conditional routes for different kind of actions that you want to perform. So here, guys, we have two conditions. First condition is that the customer is already present in Wave, and the second condition is it is a completely new customer whose data is not there in Wave. Okay, so I have created two conditional paths here or routes. First is for when the customer exists. Okay, so by clicking on set filter and action steps, you can create this condition. So here you can see we have many action steps. Here you can apply this condition that the customer is already exist, and you will just create a transaction in Wave. And in this route, you will apply the condition that the customer doesn't exist. Here you will create a customer first. Okay, then you will create a transaction. Now let me show you how we can set up this whole workflow. So here in the trigger, just search for Stripe. Okay, then select the trigger event as new charge. Okay, here it will provide you the webhook URL. So with the help of this, we are going to create a connection with Stripe by following these steps written here. So you can just read the steps. I'm going to show you directly how we can use this URL. So guys, this is my Stripe application and these are the payment links, and I'm under the test mode right now. Okay, so we are in the test mode for setting up this automation. Okay, so here you will find the developers option on the top right corner. Click on it, and here you will find the webhooks option right here. Click on webhooks, and under webhooks page, click on add endpoint button. Okay, and here it will show you the endpoint URL field. Here guys, you have to paste this URL that you got in your workflow. Okay, here, so just copy this URL from the trigger, paste it here in this field. Okay, then it will ask listen to all the events on your account. Select this option, and here it will show you this select events. So here you have to define on which event you want to send the data from Stripe to your workflow. So I want that whenever we get a new charge submitted or payment received, then it should trigger. So click on this select events option, and here you will find all the events related to Stripe's working. Here you will find this charge option. Under charge, you will find these events. Here you have to select charge.succeeded option. Check this charge.succeeded box and then click on add events. Okay, and then click on add endpoint. Right, that's how we can create a connection. So we are now connected with Stripe, and here you can see as we have copied the webhook URL here, it started showing waiting for the webhook's response. This means now we can perform a test submission. Test submission means now we can bring the record or the details of any transaction or any payment from Stripe to here in this workflow. Just like this, you can see an already created workflow like this. Okay, now to bring the data, I am going to manually create a test payment. For that, you can open any payment link that you have, and you can open this link. Let me just select this spoken English notes link, and I'm going to open it here in a new tab, and let me just create a test payment. We are under test mode, so let me just fill the test details. Okay, these are the test details I am using. These are not original details. Okay, right, and here I'm clicking on pay, and you can see the payment is processing, the test payment. Alright, and you can see it started showing thank you for your payment. Now let me show you in my workflow. Here you can see we have received the response. Okay, charge.succeeded is the event. Here you can see we have received an ID here, the request ID, and here you can see when you scroll down you will find the card details. Okay, and you can see payment is complete, and here you can see the details related to the customer as well, and here you can see the details related to customer is also captured here, name and email. Okay, and the amount captured is also here, but in the amount you can see we have received these two extra zeros. Okay, because it doesn't capture the decimal point here. Here you can see the decimal point, it doesn't capture here, so it is showing the two extra zeros. So we can correct these things afterwards using some features of Pabbly Connect. Now guys, we have received the customer details. So what we are going to do here, we are going to see if this customer is present in our Wave accounting software or not. So here in the action step, connect with Wave, and in the action event, select this option, get customer by email. Okay, then click on connect button. From here select add new connection, then click on connect with Wave, and it will bring you to the login window of Wave if you are not logged in, but I have already logged in, so it will just ask me to connect and provide the access to Wave. Okay, so you can just provide the access to your Wave account. Okay, these are all the accesses you can see in detail. Then click on allow access, and you will be connected in a few moments. Alright, so we are now connected, and here it is asking for the business name. So this is my business name in Wave. Here it is asking for the customer's email. So we have received the email here in the trigger step. You can see the customer's email is here. Now I'm going to map the email label here in this field. Okay, so you just have to click here, and the previous tab will appear here in the drop down, and when you click on it you will find all the data right here. So from here guys, you can map the email by clicking on it like this. Okay, then click on save and send test request button, and you will see the response like this. So if the customer is present in Wave, it will show you this customer edge node ID label, in which you will find this kind of ID if the customer is present. If the customer is not present, it won't show you the details of the customer or the node ID here. Okay, so these are the two conditions. Now it is time to apply the router feature. Just click here on this plus icon, and here select router. Here are the two routes it is given us. You can add more routes as well. Right now 2 is sufficient. Here click on set filter and action steps in the first route, and here guys, I'm going to ensure the first condition, that means the customer exists, by using this filter option. So here in the filter you can see it is showing select the label, select the filter type, and put a value here. So guys, here when you click, it will show you the previous steps. From here you can map any label from the previous two steps. So from the second Wave step, I am going to map this label. You can see the customer node ID label. Okay, here you can see the node ID label, and here in the filter type I am going to select exist option. Here you can see exist. Okay, now click on save and send test request button to check this condition. Alright, and here you can see it is showing success. This condition is true. Okay, so when this condition matches true, what we want to just add the transaction details. So just click here on this plus icon, and before adding the transaction details, what we are going to do here, you can see we have these details here. In the transaction details, we are going to add the amount of the transaction as well, and here you can see the amount is, sorry, not here, you can see the amount has 2 extra zeros. So I'm going to correct this, and also I am going to add the date of transaction as well. Okay, for that guys, just come to this first route, and here click on the plus icon, and here in this action step I am going to search number formatter feature of Pabbly Connect. With the help of number formatter, you can perform some operations on numbers. So select the action event as perform math operation. Okay, to perform mathematical operation, then click on connect button. Here it is asking for the numbers on which you want to perform mathematical operations. So just click here, and from the first tab, map the amount that you have received. Here you will find the amount. Okay, and what I want to do here, I want to remove the 2 extra zeros. So I'm going to divide this amount by 100. So put a comma here, then put 100. Okay, then select the operation as divide. Okay, then click on save and send test request, and you will get the corrected amount like this in the result table. Okay, now guys, we got the corrected amount. Now it is time to fetch the date of transaction. So just click here on this plus icon, and in the action step, search for date time formatter feature. Okay, date time formatter, and use the action event as current date. So current date is going to retrieve the current date, that means the date of execution of the trigger. Okay, that means when the date on which you are receiving the payment. So click on connect here, and here you can select the dates format. So this is the basic format I'm using. I do not want to include any time in the response, so I'm selecting this false, and click on save and send test request button, and here you can see we got the date. Now click here on this plus icon, and it is time to add the transaction details in Wave. Search for Wave, and then select the action event as create transactions, and click on connect button. Now guys, we have already connected with Wave in the previous step, and the connection that you make here are saved in your account. So if you want to make the connections again with the same applications, you can use the save connections. For that, keep this existing connection option selected and then click on save one more time, and the previous connection will be connected again. Alright, so we are now connected, and here started showing these fields. First field is for the business name, so it is auto populated, no need to do anything. External ID. So guys, here you have to provide a unique ID for each and every of your transactions, so that you cannot put the copy, or it is just to prevent the duplicate transactions inside Wave. Okay, so every transaction is unique, so you have to provide unique IDs to every transaction. Okay, so that you can prevent the duplication. For that guys, I am going to use the data that I have received in the trigger. So when you click here, the previous steps will appear here. So from this trigger step, I am going to map this request ID as the external ID for the transactions, because with every new payment, you will get a unique request ID. Use this request ID as the external ID here. Then in the date, just map the date from the last step. From the date time formatter, map the date. For the description, use the details you have received in the trigger. Here you will find the description as payment complete. Just map this message label here. If you want to provide any note, you can put notes here. Select the anchor account as your account in Wave. Okay, the name of your account in Wave. Transaction amount, map it from the number formatter step, where we have the corrected amount. Okay, transaction direction is deposit, not withdrawal, so select it deposit. Categorization account, here you can select categorization as sales. Okay, then here it is asking for the customer ID. So guys, we are going to map the customer ID from the previous step, so just toggle this map button to on and erase this field, and from the Wave option where we have search for the customer, we have received this customer node ID, just map it here. Okay, so it is asking for the line item amount again, so here you can map the amount again from the same number formatter. Okay, line item direction, increase is equivalent to debit, so select increase option here. For the description, you can provide a description. Right now I'm leaving all these things blank. You can use all the fields. Okay, we have just mapped the required things. Now you can click on save and send test request button, and a new transaction will be added inside Wave. And this is how the response will appear. You can see it is showing succeed value 1. Okay, that means the transaction is recorded. Let us check in Wave if we got this transaction recorded. So this is my Wave's transaction page. Let me just refresh this page. All right, and here you can see guys, on this date the payment is complete and the account is Magnet Brains, the category is sales, and the amount is 2000. This is the same thing, this is the same transaction that we are talking about here, that we have added here inside this step. Okay, that's how you can record the transaction. And now it is time to create our second route. So guys, the second route will be similar to the first route. So what we are going to do here, we are going to just clone the first route. So just click on the 3 dots and then click on clone, and then click on clone one more time, and this is how the steps will be cloned. So let me rename the routes here by clicking on rename here, so that you can understand properly what the routes are about. So guys, I have renamed these 2 routes as customer exist, customer not exist. The third route is of no use now, so let me just delete it. Okay, now you just have to change one thing here in this second route. Just click on set filter and action steps, and here guys, in the filter you just have to change the filter type as from exist to does not exist. So this means whenever this ID that you have received here in the second Wave step does not exist, what we want, first of all, we are going to check the condition that the condition is false. That means the customer exists. So when the customer does not exist, we are going to create a customer first, then we are going to save the transaction. Okay. So here you have to add one more step, which is create a customer. Okay. So just click here on this plus icon, and another action step will open up here. From here, select wave option, and in the action event, select create a customer, click on connect button. From here, keep this existing options, click on save. Okay, then it will show you the business name. Here you have to map the details of the customer or business name from the first step. Okay, so we do not, if you have the business name, you can map the business name. If you have the customer's name, normally you will have the customer's name only, so you can map that. Okay, so here you can see. So guys, we have mapped the required things here to create a new customer. Okay, now come here and click on save and send test request button. Okay, and you will get this kind of response, and here you will receive a new customer ID label. Okay, so you have to map this new customer ID label here in this last wave step. Okay, so what you have to do, just refresh this connection, just click on connected one more time, and then click on save again, and the connection will be refreshed with wave. Alright, and after that, when you scroll down, you will find all the data mapped already, but you have to change one thing. Here you will find the line item customer ID field. Toggle this map button to on, erase this, and from the last step, here you can see from this last wave step, map this customer, create customer ID. Okay, like this. All right, and then you just have to save this step. Okay, and your automation setup will be completed. All right, so just scroll down and click on save button. Okay, and then close this. Okay, so we are done setting up this automation, and you have to set up it only once. After that, you do not have to do anything manually. In real time, whenever you are going to receive any payment from Stripe, this workflow is going to trigger, and the transaction details will be saved in your Wave application automatically. And I'm going to paste the link of this workflow in the description, so that you can clone this workflow in your own free Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation instantly. Guys, if you want to connect with our support team, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. You can ask and discuss your queries on our forum via this link, and you can check the pricing plans of Pabbly Connect via pabbly.com/connect #pricing. And guys, if you like our videos, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.